my personal experience of homework is that it creates so much stress. It ruins our night.
Yeah, but at some point we've got to be like, you have to do it.
We're back with some familiar faces.
The name is less important, Kat. It was about the dress and me being centre of attention, and the name come after that.
And some fresh opinions into the mix.
I think it's really good for kids, having just that open, honest conversation. My mum suffers with depression and this was just part of life and it's perfectly normal.
Do I think we should be honest about our mental health struggles? 100%.
Will they find a common ground?
I feel like I've actually learned a lot hearing all your thoughts on this.
Or just more drama?
I didn't realise it was that much homework, to be honest.
How old are your brothers?
2 and 3, so I'm not at that actual stage.
Oh, I see.
You need to get married to have a committed relationship. If someone doesn't wish to marry you, there's a problem.
Oh yeah, that's me then, isn't it? I mean, what's wrong with me? I mean, just this me.
Do you know what? Oh, see, I have thoughts on this.
No.
I'm going to start here.
I need a good reason why. Like, what's the reason?
So my reasoning for saying it is, as a woman, and I think a lot of us feel like this, if you don't, please don't. When you're little, you do think of the dress, the day, and da-da-da. I think we all just we have this vision in our head, don't we? And then obviously when I did have Brodie, I had a different name. And I didn't like that. I wanted us to all have the same name. And
You can change your name.
The name is less important, Kat. It was about the dress and me being centre of attention, and the name come after that. No, but jokes aside, like, I really wanted to be married. Why don't you want to marry me? Do you get what I mean? Like, why do you, if you've committed to having a child with me, why will you not commit to a marriage with me? And even if you are literally doing it for me, to have your name, so I have my Princess Day, it's a celebration of love and everything, why don't you want to do that for me?
This is interesting because this divides a lot of people.
Yeah.
Because when you have that guy that's like, I don't want to marry her, what's the reason for not wanting to commit? Is that a him issue? Or I understand
it's very
that.
expensive, though.
Yeah.
Like, some people aren't getting married because it's just so expensive. Although you don't, it doesn't have to be expensive.
Yeah, but you add wedding on to a quote and it's like, oh, double the cost.
But then people will commit and have children, but then they won't commit to a marriage, and actually children's more of a commitment than a wedding.
It's the biggest commitment you'll ever have in your entire life.
So, I don't know, how would you feel if you had kids but your husband didn't want to marry you?
I would like the same surname for the kids and for me.
Same, yeah.
So I would have an issue with it.
Yeah, I would have an issue
I'd be
with
like,
it.
why do you not want to commit to me? That's a bit strange.
I mean, you already have committed.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I understand where you're coming from, but then, like, I just don't think a piece of paper makes you committed.
Absolutely.
Like, there are countless of people that can vouch for that. You know, loads of people get divorced because they're not committed and, you know, they cheat on their partner. That piece of paper doesn't really mean a lot.
Oh, completely. I don't think that makes you any more deep or any more committed. But it was just something nice that I wanted to do, to have his name and to title up. And I would always question why, if a guy doesn't want to, and you've got like children, you've got stuff like, and the guy, and you really, really want to, why doesn't he want to?
He might not want to. This is a hypothetical. Like, he might have trauma from his parents being married and then breaking up.
Yeah.
Go to therapy and...
I'm not responsible for managing your trauma.
I do agree with the idea that, like, if it's going to be a deal breaker for so many people internationally, marriage and kids, there better be a very good reason why you're going to break this deal with me because you so staunchly don't believe in marriage. There has to be a very big reason, like, conversation where if you're coming into it like, hey, you're going to lose me, there better be a good reason why to make me stay, otherwise I'm out.
As much as you say, or it's just a piece of paper, I know for a fact, Jimmy and I probably would have split up if we hadn't been married. Like, getting married, you can, of course, get divorced.
No,
it's
I know.
a lot harder.
It's a lot harder.
And it's a lot messier. And so there were definitely times where if it had been a lot easier for me to just walk away, probably I might have done. Yeah. And that's not the case for everybody at all. Like, I'm not saying that you should stick with it, whatever, but for me, it was entirely separate from the kids.
They'll be with you and they'll be nice with you, regardless whether you're married or you're not married.
I disagree. I think being married does give an element of you want to maybe not fight for it more, but it's just not as easy to split up. It just isn't. Yeah. So therefore, you might be like, think about it more, process it a bit more. Do we try and fight for it more?
That's why I felt it was important.
Divorcing is the last resort.
Loads of people said to me, "Oh, I bet you won't get married again." And I was like, "But why would I not? Like, why am I I didn't break down my marriage. Why am I gonna not do something again?" And just for me, it obviously just is a lovely day. But yeah, I just like being married to him?
Before I came here, before I actually met all of you guys and started to learn about your lives and your past.
And fall in love with all of us.
And I've become obsessed with all of you. I was like, oh, I don't believe in marriage anymore and I'd never get married again. And coming here and talking to so many of you about what's happened in your lives, I'm like, oh, I really hope I fall madly in love and get married again. I do think there's an element, I think, of like, as you were saying, trauma reflected in that kind of behaviour. And again, like, yeah, if it's a deal breaker, then there better be a good reason why.
I definitely feel like you do need to get married to have a committed relationship, and I know a lot of people are not going to agree with this, but at the end of the day, that's the end game, no? Get together, get kids, get married.
Parents should share all their mental health struggles with their kids.
That is what I said.
I don't agree with that.
Oh God, I don't agree with that. I don't need to scar my kids. Like, they need to be kids, they need to have fun and not worry about responsibilities
they look at
that
us
we
like
have.
we're superheroes. I don't want to let them think that's not true.
Like, my mum is so unhinged all the time.
That's why she has all that wine.
Yeah, I don't need to put that on my kids.
No.
That's
kids,
not fair.
The kids need to be empowered.
Should you share everything in the moment as it's happening? Absolutely not, of course not. We're not idiots. Do I think we should be honest about our mental health struggles? 100%. I have been really honest with my kids about the fact that I'm an addict in recovery. They know that I don't drink alcohol because I was an alcoholic. They know that I work hard every single day I talk about how exercise is the single most important thing for keeping my head straight. I talk about how I've struggled with burnout, how I've struggled with depression. I talk about my ADHD. I do it in an appropriate way. It's not about scaring them. It's not about being salacious. It's just about being really honest with them. Because there are times when I'm not at my best as a parent because mentally I'm struggling. And I will say, do you know what? I've struggled with this. I'm struggling with, especially with my ADHD and the neurodivergence things, there are days when I am so activated.
I got ADHD as well, so I feel the exact same.
And so I do.
But I think it's different for me and you. Your kids are slightly older, but I feel like at the age that my kids are at, I wouldn't necessarily say to them, oh, I'm struggling with my mental, because they don't know what mental health is.
No, it has to be age appropriate, right?
100%.
So there are times when you can go, do you know what, mummy's feeling a bit down today, or I'm struggling a bit today.
Yeah, no, I agree with that, but I 100% agree with everything you said, to be honest. So it's different because we got kids that are different ages.
But you've got an older kid as well, haven't you?
Yeah, she's 10. But I would never say to her, oh, like I'm feeling like really depressed today. But I've always said when she grows older, because obviously I've made a lot of mistakes. I was drinking from the age of 13, doing drugs. I would always share that with her when she comes of age, just so she doesn't go down the route that I went down. So I always want to be that parent that's open and honest. My
worry is as well, and I think this is why I was open with them, is that when I was a kid, I know that sometimes when my mum or dad were off or not right, I sometimes thought it was me. And so my need to tell the kids that, like, I'm struggling is like, I'm not at my best today. It's nothing to do with you.
Yeah.
Like, this is not your fault. Do not take this on. This is me. That's really important for me to make sure that they know that.
Yeah.
And I think as well, like, it gives them permission to go.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
I'm not doing great today.
Yeah. I literally came straight over here because my mum struggled. She's very open about this.
She has been, yeah.
So I'm very open about this. So my mum really, really struggled with depression when I was growing up, and it was definitely like a big thing in our house. And the fact that I knew about it, we talked about it, there was an element of secrecy because they were on television, and that we didn't want it out there. But in the house, it was all very open and all very shared, and it stopped me from ever thinking this is my fault.
Yeah.
And I think that honesty saved me from probably quite a lot of childhood trauma or issues.
And also being afraid.
And
if you don't know what's going, something's going on, but you're not sure what it is.
Yeah, I knew what it was, and I knew what was happening, and I knew it was never my fault, and it was always a conversation with my dad and my brothers. It was fine. And also when I was diagnosed with generalized anxiety disorder, I'd never not once felt like it was like a shameful secret I had to hide, because it's something I grew up with, and I was like, oh, that's helpful. I've got a thing. Like, thank God I know what it is. I do think you should protect your children from some things. They don't need to see everything. They don't need to hear everything.
Yeah, that's what I'm scared of.
Yeah.
Like, if I am having a bad day and I'm like, oh, mummy doesn't feel well today, like mummy feels like a bit down and depressed, I'm scared to put them words into her head, because I wouldn't want her to think.
That's not trauma dumping.
It's not. No, that's not trauma dumping.
Because I'm so scared about
being
because I've been trauma dumped on.
I get what you're saying though. I do understand. I do think there are certain things There are definitely things that I don't think you should maybe. I think they should know the facts.
Yeah.
But then, of course, there are certain things that come as a result of those facts that maybe you want to shield them from. That I get. But I do think that having just that open, honest conversation of like, oh, my mum suffers with depression and this is just part of life and so do a hell of a lot of people and it's perfectly normal. And then being able to like whistle on with your day, I think is really good for kids.
Yeah. So I've got nobody on my side, but to be honest, I feel like I've actually learned a lot from like hearing all your thoughts on this, because I always thought like it was, I don't know, like a taboo to say like you're feeling down or depressed to your child, but now hearing this, it's just I got a different outlook on it, so thanks.
Kat's arguments for it were really articulate, and it made me think, if I can do it in an educational way for my child to understand, that it's actually probably better and right for them to know that what we're going through is normal.
Homework should be scrapped. It creates a war zone at home.
That was me.
I think I'm just gonna take this one.
Oh, really? That surprises me.
I'm starting here. But then I'm an ex-teacher, so...
Okay, so for me and my personal experience of homework is that it creates so much stress in our household. I now have the added thing of who's making them do it, me or my ex-husband, and we argue over that. I'm like, well, I did it last week, you did it. Because getting my kids to sit at a table or at a desk, I end up arguing. It ruins our night. It literally could take an hour and a half for them, maybe longer, for them to do like one piece of homework. And then you finally do it and you're like, yes, it's done. And 2 days later, you got it again. Honestly, it creates so much pressure. We all fall out with each other. I feel like I'm being a crap mum because I can't get them to do the thing that's expected of them. They feel like they're not achieving anything because they can't do this thing, because they're literally not children that are designed to sit down and do this kind of work. I just feel like we just don't need it, especially not for younger kids, maybe older ones.
I hate homework.
I'm not a massive fan, but my middle child is slightly dyslexic, so he needs like reminding and helping, and I feel like a terrible mum when he's exhausted and gets in from school to be like, because he's tried so hard all day, and the school's like, he needs to keep practicing, and I'm just like, he needs to be a kid and just enjoy being at home. It's a safe space.
Well, yeah, exactly. When you come home, it's your time to unwind, relax. And also, a lot of the homework, the parents have to do it anyway. And then it's taking me away from stuff that I want to do.
The kids are in bed and we're doing all the artwork.
Yeah, I'm doing it with my left hand, for crying out loud.
No, I understand where you're coming from. I didn't realise it was that much homework, to be honest. I thought it was just like one...
How old are your bubbers?
2 and 3, so I'm not at that actual stage.
Oh, I see.
If I didn't do homework when I was at school, I feel like it wouldn't have stuck, and I just feel like repetition is good.
That's revision though, right? More revision than
No, but doing homework, because you're going to go back home and then go over what you've just learnt in class, and I think that's when it will stick.
But kids never want to do it. It's like they're at home.
No,
They want to be in like their home surroundings.
It.
And so they're not. Are they actually taking it in, or are they just ticking a box because they know that they have to do this thing?
Yeah, but it's not for me as an ex-teacher. Homework at secondary level is about reinforcing the learning, right? And if you're not setting homework that does that, then you're not a great teacher.
Yeah.
At primary school, it's about encouraging and providing space to foster independent learning. And so my kid, who's neurodivergent, really struggles with homework as well.
Yeah.
Like, it is a battle. And I'll say to her, listen, I know that this is not like your wheelhouse and it isn't your fault that this is difficult, but it is your responsibility to figure out a way to manage it. Now, whether or not it's an expectation I agree with isn't really the point. This is a school I've signed up to. If she really doesn't want to do it, I'm also not going to get in the ring with her anymore.
Yeah.
So I'll be like, okay, fine. We're not going to do it. That's cool. And then at school, it's my responsibility to go, listen, she's really struggling with this.
Yeah.
Can we help support her in a different way? Or say to my kid, listen, you're going to have to deal with these consequences.
Do you not have a homework club? Because like on a Thursday today,
if I told my kids
are going to
a homework club, they'd never speak to me again.
At some point, we've got to be like, I know that this is but you have to do it.
Right. We have created a space where this is how you learn, and for a lot of children, especially neurodivergent children, it doesn't work. So I feel like homework is just an extension of that. So it just brings that thing that doesn't work home, and then I have to make it not work at home as well. Reading is different because I feel like reading is the foundation. So even if that's me sitting with the boys and we read a page each, and I might keep the bar low, like you read a page, I'll read 2 pages, you read 2 pages, and we'll do that a couple of times, and then we've all read this evening.
And that's it.
That I can get on board with. But like sitting down and like writing and doing time, I mean, also the times tables things, they're like, they're timed. So you have 6 seconds now to answer them. The anxiety.
Yeah.
They're like, don't get it. Like, it's so, for children that struggle with that kind of stuff, it is so unhelpful.
I'm inexperienced with this, like my kids are only toddlers.
Yeah.
So I can see where you're coming from, and I totally get, like, with younger kids, it can be quite hard, and maybe it should be scrapped, but I think for older kids, it can be quite useful and really important for their growth at school. But yeah, I've only got one, Kat, the teacher.
Ex-teacher.
Ex-teacher, sorry.
I don't think we should scrap homework because a few kids find it difficult. Like, I get it, it is difficult. I think it's my job as a mum to teach them the value of doing homework and meeting expectations. But at the same time, if they're struggling, I'm going to have that conversation with the school.